Hi, this is Veterans Network field correspondent Michelle Ladd and Rick Seaman.
Hello, Michelle.
Hi, Rick. How are you?
Good. Big day today.
It is a big day. We're in downtown Los Angeles, which happens to be stop 2 of the National Heroes Tour. Now, the Heroes Tour is sponsored by the Vets for Freedom organization. We're fortunate enough to be interviewing 2 of those members today, the founder, Dave Bellavia, and executive director, Pete Hegseth. Hi, Pete. How you doing today?
Doing well. How are you?
Good. We just got a couple questions. First, tell us about the Vets for Freedom organization. We know you're an Iraqi vet yourself, and now you're firmly embedded in the Vets for Freedom
yes,
cause.
Absolutely. Vets for Freedom is an Iraq and Afghanistan veterans organization. Today, it was started in 2006. Today, we have over 21,000 members, 44 state chapters around the country, and it's made up of guys who have served overseas and then wanted to come back and have an opportunity to continue serving by communicating the importance of the missions in Iraq and Afghanistan and really honoring the service and sacrifice of the guys that are still there. So, I mean, it's really just our opportunity to continue the fight here at home.
And it's a very proactive organization from what I understand, correct?
Absolutely. We do it both on the grassroots side and through the communications end. We mobilize guys locally to get out and talk to their representatives, go out into community groups, just really elevate the conversation about Iraq and Afghanistan. And then also we do the communications element where we get guys on TV, on the radio, writing op-eds, letters to the editor, because veterans have a level of credibility that others don't on this issue. So it's important that we have them as spokesmen talking about what's at stake, the nature of the enemy, and the importance of completing that mission. So that's why we think veterans are such powerful advocates in this particular way.
Well, that's fantastic. And now you've got your Heroes Tour, which you kicked off in San Diego last night, correct?
We did, on the deck of the USS Midway in San Diego. It was so much fun. We had 500-600 people from the local community come out. John Voight, the Oscar winner, hosted the event for us. We had some local bands, a couple veterans play, and then we heard from some of the heroes that will be with us along the tour, David and Marcus Luttrell and others that really have just incredible, compelling stories. And it was about honoring them and honoring the vets in San Diego and around the country.
And how many vets will you have on tour with you the entire time?
Well, we've got 4 or 5 core guys that'll be with us the entire time. But the neat part about the tour is that we're linking up with local veterans along the way. So as we go into Arizona tomorrow, we're going to meet half a dozen to a dozen guys there that will go with us to Phoenix, and then we'll pick up guys in Tucson that go with us. And so they stay with us in every particular stop. We've got about 30 guys waiting for us down in Texas. They're going to jump on the bus. I don't know where we're going to put them in the compartments down here, but it's going to be.
I was just going to say, do you have enough buses?
No, we don't. They didn't know they're getting an underneath spot.
That's right. Now, if we go onto the website, vetsforfreedom.org, people can find out about these stops and how to support their troops that way.
If you go to vetsforfreedom.org, you can see every single stop and then every location at each stop. So where you can meet these guys, talk to them. A couple of them have books that they're willing to sign as well. So we're really just doing everything we can at every stop to not only do events but do media as well, local media, meet with op-ed boards, community groups, really try to meet with the people and then some of the opinion makers in those communities saying, hey, have you heard from these veterans when you're writing these op-eds and leaving opinions?
Well, that's outstanding. Pete, I have a question for you. Now, you just went back to Iraq and embedded among our troops there, right?
Yeah.
Now, how did that go?
It was an incredible experience. I was there just 10 days ago. I was in Baghdad in 2005 as a platoon leader, but I went back to the same neighborhood 10 days ago to see that neighborhood today as it is. And I got to tell you, it was absolutely like night and day. Streets that just a year ago were Al-Qaeda's Baghdad headquarters. American and Iraqi troops literally had to fight our way down them. Today, I was there for 3 days on the ground in those neighborhoods outside of the green zone, did not hear a single shot fired or a single explosion. I mean, Iraqi security forces are everywhere securing their neighborhoods. People are out in the streets, in the markets, boys, girls going back to school. Commerce is coming back, and it was just compelling to see that all the sacrifice and effort that our troops have put into has brought this out, and that the surge and the new counterinsurgency strategy has been so effective.
That's amazingly encouraging. And so would you say that has... how would you say the effect is on our troops' morale?
Oh, absolutely. It's how can it not help morale when guys see the fruits of their labor and all the blood and sweat and tears that have gone into it bring about this kind of progress? It was heartening for me to see that. I mean, we couldn't really glimpse what success might look like in 2005 and 2006, and then you get there and you see the streets like they are now, and it's just amazing. And you can imagine how that raises the morale of the guys who were losing buddies on a daily basis before, and now they're able to go into these neighborhoods and the Iraqis welcome them and say thank you for protecting our neighborhood. It's just an incredible shift, and of course it has raised the morale of the guys over there.
That's great. Rick?
Tremendous. That's outstanding, Peter. And Thank you for your service, sir. Thank you very much. I have one question, because I know you're busy. I know you got to get this show on the road. As a Vietnam vet, and I think I speak for a lot of other Vietnam vets, I think one of our biggest fears for the troops that are over there, who have been there and who may still go there in the future, for them and their families, is that they do not experience another April 30th, 1975, where I remember on the road with the radio on and I heard that. I stopped my car and I just sat there and I went, this was for nothing? How do you feel about that? What do we need to talk about there?
Well, I got to tell you, some of the strongest supporters of our organization have been Vietnam veterans, and there's a kinship that we feel with the guys that were over there, fought in a war that was unpopular, that they did not get an opportunity to finish successfully. And so we feel that kinship when we work with Vietnam veterans wherever we can. And I mean, I think what's incredible is that we almost reached that point, and that's when we really ramped it up this summer when Congress was about to set a timeline to bring these guys home. We said, no way, not on our watch. We've seen this movie again. We know how it ends, and we don't want it to end this way this time. And we brought 250 guys up to Capitol Hill in September to meet with members of Congress and say, do not pull the plug. Listen to General Petraeus. The progress is being made. We need to stick this out. And that's what this organization is about, is protecting our sort of what I call our exposed domestic flank. You know, our guys can accomplish all they want over there, but if the politicians or others here pull the plug on their efforts, then it can be all for naught. Right. So, I mean, we see all this in a sharp historical comparison, understanding that it could easily go in the other direction. And that's why I think what's important about doing this Heroes Tour and the other things is really getting the word out to folks here, because when Americans hear the good news, they respond to it. If you see the poll numbers in the last couple of months, Americans are now supporting the war in Iraq and believe we can't leave until it's stable, which is a drastic turnaround from a year ago, and it was like 20-25%. Right. So I mean, I think we like to think we've played a small part in that, but most of all, it's just supporting the guys that are still there.
Right. And the main thing is, I hope when this is finally all over, that all you folks that served there can look back and say, hey, you know, we got it done. Yeah. We got it done. Yeah. We hung. And you know what our if you look at our tour T-shirts, we need to get you a couple of.
We need to get you guys some tour T-shirts. By the way, we got some in the bus. But if you look at the bottom of it, it's a 3-word phrase that's sort of the motto for the tour: "Let them win." Let the guys over there win. Give them the time, the troops, and the resources necessary to be successful, and that's our underlying message.
And now, will this culminate in another Vets on the Hill like you had in September?
Thank you for prompting that. Absolutely. On April 8th, we're bringing what we hope will be 400 or 500, maybe even 600 Iraq and Afghanistan veterans up to Capitol Hill. And that's going to be the culminating event of the tour. So we're going to drive up to Washington, D.C. and meet 500 of our members who have met us there. And we're going up to Capitol Hill one more time to say, hey guys, General Petraeus came in September, gave an incredible report about things. Some of you believed him, some of you didn't, some of you called him a traitor. Now here we are 6 months later. Look at what we've accomplished. Listen to what General Petraeus has to say and give him what he needs to succeed. And that's going to be our message, and we're really looking forward to it.
Peter, I want to thank you, and I am honored, and on behalf of Veterans Network and myself and Michelle.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming out here. We can't do it without people that tell the story, so we appreciate you guys coming out.
We're here for you anytime you need us.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with more.
Hi, we're back, and we've actually got a very special guest. This is Sergeant Jeremiah Workman, and he is a Marine, and he's on the tour, the Vets for Freedom tour, and he's one of the core members who's going to be on the tour. Hi, welcome.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be back here in L.A. Warm weather.
Thank you so much. So tell us about your involvement with Vets for Freedom.
I heard about it back in November. The National Heroes Tour, and they asked me if I would be interested in coming on the tour. I said, that's thanks for asking me, but there's probably other people out there more qualified. So the fact that I'm able to ride on the same bus with these guys gives me goosebumps. It's an honor. So
well, that's fantastic. Now you're taking your personal leave to come and join this group of people, correct?
I am. Yes, it's. I believe in what we're doing. It's it's a chance for me to get out and say thank you to not only the vets but the people that are back home supporting us. I mean, we can't win without the support back here. So.
Well, we truly do thank you so much for your service and your time. We understand you've got a pretty remarkable story. I wondered if you'd share it with us for a moment.
Yeah, I was December 23rd over in the Second Battle of Fallujah, 2004, and we got trapped in a house. I had 10 guys. We got trapped in a house with 30 insurgents. Obviously, it got pretty ugly, hand-to-hand combat, and we lost 3 Marines, and everybody was wounded in the house. And I'm a leader. I took responsibility, and I wanted to be a leader for these Marines. They trust me with their lives, so. People ask me all the time, how or why did you do what you do? And I simply say, because I'm a Marine, because they're Marines. And the only way we're going to get home is each other. So, the heroes thing, I'm not big on it. People in this country right now think that Tiger Woods and Barry Bonds is a hero. To me, the heroes are the guys that, didn't make it home. And I'm here to tell their story, so.
Well, we certainly do thank you for that. Do you have any advice for families who have loved ones who are still over in Iraq and Afghanistan now?
Yeah, I think my wife would probably have a better answer for you, but just keep sending them packages, keep sending them letters. They keep the morale up. It's when they know the people back home are rooting for them and in their corner, it just makes the deployment that much easier, and just keep the faith and believe in. You got to have faith in what we're doing over there.
Well, we certainly do believe in what you're doing, and we thank you again. You've got a long tour ahead of you.
Jeremiah, thank you for your service, and welcome home. Enjoy the leave and enjoy the tour, and look us up when you get back.
Will do. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
As promised, we've got the other half of the leadership of Vets for Freedom organization, Mr. Dave Bellavia.
That's correct.
All right, here, Michelle, you got some questions for Dave.
I do. So you mentioned earlier there are 5 actual founders of the organization. And how did it come about? How did you decide to form this?
Well, we were all came home from the war, pretty much isolated from what was happening stateside, and we came home to an America that really didn't have a clue of what we were fighting and what we were sacrificing. And so we decided, let us start talking. If you're gonna, use your experience from other wars, then why can't we use our experience from this war that we're fighting right now? So we decided to do it, and it took hold.
And has the vision changed any, or has it stayed pretty much on track? Understandable that, it adapts as things change.
It hasn't. As a matter of fact, it's gotten stronger, and we've realized that the more effect we have by reaching more and more Americans, we find out that there are more and more passionate, supporting. We didn't expect to find as many patriotic Americans as we're finding, and I'm realizing that the minority are the vocal people that are just out there screaming incoherently. The majority of people understand. They might not have been for the war, but they understand the importance of winning the war, and that's where we're at.
Very good.
Well,
very good.
We just needed some leadership and direction on our end. Well, so now you have your Heroes Tour. You kicked it off in San Diego last night, and today we're in LA, and you have a book signing of your book, House to House.
That's correct. It's great. A lot of people came out and just were really supportive, and been so blessed. Whole opportunity of being able to share my story, and more importantly, all the names of the men and women that we lost. That's really what it's about.
Right. Do you have plenty of books left over here today?
There are no. No, we didn't.
I was going to ask you if you had one for me.
Oh yeah, you're out of luck. But no, you know what? We'll definitely get you a book. Get you a book. But
and I do want you to sign it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I can't do that, but I can get you I'll get you whatever you want. You guys have been great to us, and we appreciate your support. Thank you.
Well, we understand this tour is going to culminate in Vets on the Hill 2008. I understand there was one in September. Pete talked a little bit about the event, but what does this mean if you are an Afghanistan or Iraqi vet and want to take part in this?
It means that all you got to do is go to our website, vetsforfreedom.org, and we are going to pay for your flight. We're going to pay for your hotel. And all we want you to do is to stand shoulder and shoulder with us as we welcome General David Petraeus' report on the Hill. And all we're going to do is we're not a group that's going to get arrested. We're not going to rabble-rouse and embarrass ourselves. We're ambassadors of the men and women who fight. And we have to hold ourselves to a higher accountability. All we're doing is saying, look, you stood with us at war, stand with us at peacetime, because we still have brothers and sisters over there fighting for our freedom right now, and we're going to pay for everything. We're just honored to have you there. We had 200 plus last year. In the first hour that we were online, we had over 300 people, and now we're looking at 400 to 600 veterans that'll be in Washington.
That's outstanding.
Amazing. Dave, we do a lot of coverage on our network regarding CBOs. They're out there, they're doing a tremendous job, and like you say, there's the majority of people out there that really care and are really compassionate. A lot of them have stepped up with CBOs, bringing in their resources, even their own personal funds, trying to get grants, fighting tooth and nail to get it done. And I know your organization, even though you're nationwide, I know you guys are working with a lot of CBOs. So you know what they're about. My question is this, Dave. Should we start looking to the VA budget, the funding for the VA, and try and bring some of that money into a fund for CBOs? Because it's a no-brainer. They get more bang for the buck. How do you feel about that?
Well, I think that where the CBO really, what their role is to be a conduit to the VA. I'm one of those guys that think that the VA is being asked to do things that the VA wasn't designed to do. They're giving college grants out. They're giving home inspections and medical care. And this was an organization designed for 12 million veterans in World War II. So what we can do is we can't burn down the VA and start over again, but we can fill the gaps and allow people to know that, first of all, post-traumatic stress disorder should have no stigma, because PTSD is a wound like a bullet wound and like a broken bone and shrapnel. Once we understand that we have community organizations at local hospitals. Why should people have to convalesce at Walter Reed? They shouldn't be forced to convalesce at Walter Reed when their family lives in Bakersfield, California.
Absolutely not.
So we have organizations there. We have mental health clinics. Okay, and there is enough grant money there to bridge the gap. So what the community-based groups have to do is be the bridge to the VA and say, and the VA doesn't like people in their terrain. They get really protective. So you say, look, you're the VA, be the VA, but I'm going to help these guys get to you. All right, I don't want to get on your toes. I'm going to help you out, because it's all about the veteran. It's not about who gets the credit. It's not about what political party holds the flag. It's about getting help to the men and women who served for freedom and, went through soul-depleting labor. Combat is ghastly and horrific, and the least we can do is make these people, you get a Purple Heart in Vietnam, but now you don't have enough to feed your family, or you have issues that you have to deal with. Unacceptable. Right.
Absolutely.
If we treat you guys like trash, how am I going to get guys to follow me in Iraq and Afghanistan? No one's going to want to do it.
There it is.
So we have to hold you up and make sure that you're taken care of, so that we can make sure that our guys are taken care of. That's the story.
There you have it. Dave, what branch were you in?
I'm a proud Army infantryman, regular Army.
UB-11 Bravo.
11 Bravo. Is that what you are? Who did you serve with?
Vietnam, 199th Light Infantry Brigade.
Thank you very much for your service. I want to thank you for one other thing. When I came home, I had 4 Vietnam veterans that welcomed me home at the Atlanta airport, tears in their eyes. That's not at all what you got. No one was there to hug you. No one was there to thank you. But your generations opened up their arms for us, and because of that, that's why we're here. That's why we're doing what we're doing. We're elite because you came before us. That's why we're warriors. But also, we are accountable and will hold ourselves to a higher standard because of the way you welcomed us home, and I very much appreciate that.
Thank you.
Well, Dave, we just want to thank you again, first and foremost, for your service, but also for founding this amazing organization. We're just so impressed with how proactive it is, and we encourage all of our viewers and listeners to go on the website, vetsforfreedom.org, and really see what this outstanding organization is about. Thank you again for your insight and your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming
Thank
out.
you, and great luck with the tour, man. Go get them.
God bless you,
Rock
and
on.
thank you for serving and coming before me.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for serving.
All right.
Welcome home.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, I've got a very special guest I've kind of cornered here. A gentleman named Steve Russell, the fellow 11 Bravo, and Steve was the battalion commander of the outfit that pulled Uncle Saddam out of his hole. How about this?
Well, I commanded 1st Battalion, 22nd Infantry. We were a part of the hunt and capture of Saddam, but it was an operation really commanded by Colonel Jim Hickey, 1st Brigade of the 4th Infantry Division, and working hand in hand with a Delta Force team. 6 months of hard work. We picked up on Saddam's trail and followed the crumbs all the way to when we were able to eventually get him.
Win-win.
Oh, it was. It was a great day, and I was very, very proud of my soldiers. Very proud of, really all the guys that we worked with. I can't say enough good things about the Special Operations community that we worked with hand in hand. And we were able to get about 60% of the guys from Saddam's inner network that were immediately protecting him that led us on the trail. So we were heavily involved in his hunt.
Well, we here at Veterans Network, we certainly salute you and all your men that were involved with that. And now, Steve, you're part of the main force here on the tour, is that correct? One of the core.
Yes, I'm traveling with Vets for Freedom. You can find out more about the tour and what we're doing at vetsforfreedom.org. But we're taking the experiences that we have, some true heroes that are traveling on this tour, guys like Marcus Luttrell, Jeremiah Workman, both recipients of the Navy Cross, David Bellavia, author of House to House, a nominee for the Medal of Honor, some remarkable young men, and they've done some wonderful things. So we're taking these stories on the road to let people know that they need to back up the troops and get this war won, that we can do it.
Steve, thank you for your time.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
And thank you for your service, and
Well,
welcome
thank you.
home.
Well, thanks.
And have a good time on the tour,
All
and good
right.
luck.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay,
It's
take
good to be
care.
with you.
Steve Russell, folks, Iraq war hero. No doubt. No doubt. This is Rick Seaman. And Michelle, come on back. She had to go get a taco.
Hungry. All this talk about heroism.
A good little afternoon we had here today,
It was
huh?
fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, this
Fantastic.
is really super. We spoke to a number of just tremendous Iraq veterans, young guys that, God, I'm just so proud to be part of this, you know.
The Patriots Guard motorcycle riders. That
They
we
were
met.
here, yep, Patriots Guards here. A lot of people for the book signing.
Yeah.
And they had to grab Steve out from under us here. He's loaded up on the bus. The bus is pulling out, and the next stop is Arizona. So stay tuned. The Vets for Freedom Heroes Tour. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you, Rick. Thanks, everybody.
Out.